Hi, my name's Kat. Thank you for joining me today on my YouTube channel. We're going to be doing a mat Pilates sequence. You don't need any equipment, but if you do have a resistance band, grab that because I will be using one today. I'll be giving lots of different options so you can do what's right for your body. My cueing is for the general population. It's not going to be 100% right for everybody. So please know to always override what I say with how you're actually feeling in your body. And I hope you enjoy. If you enjoy, please subscribe to the channel and share with your friends. Thanks. Put on some music that's going to help keep you energized, especially for the standing sequence. It is nice to move to the beat, so don't worry about being on time with me. If you have a band, we're going to place that under your feet, hip distance apart in parallel. If you don't, your hands can be free, or you can hold on to some little dumbbells as well as an option. So we're just going to start with some squats. So do a little pull apart motion with your feet, not to the point that your knees are going outwards or you're arching in the middle of your foot, but just enough so you can feel the outside of the legs all the way up into your glutes activate. You're going to get so much more out of your squats when you do that activation. So just holding onto the band, just coming down and up, down and up, squeezing into the glutes at the top, but making sure you're not thrusting the hips forward. Shoulders are back and down, so not rounding the shoulders. Up to you how deep you want to come into your squat, hinging at the hips. And if you want more resistance on your band, you can lower the hands a little bit lower. We'll go 10 more. And 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back down and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Now bring your hands nice and low onto the band. Keep holding, keep holding. Getting that tension into the legs, starting to feel warm. Good, and then we're going to go up, out to the side, down, out to the side and down. We've got more resistance on that band now. If you're doing it without a band, you can still do the leg movement. Still going to feel it. Slightly pigeon toe the foot, so the heel is driving outwards, toe slightly turned inwards. Working on our balance as well. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holding here, balance. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. Five more. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holding here. Making sure you're not locking out that standing leg. Ooh, balance. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, release. Come down and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Now bring your hands as low as you can, hinging at the hips. I'm going to turn side on so you can see my posture. Okay, so lower belly's drawn in, spine nice and straight. Row, release, row, release. Elbows stay close to the body. Squeezing the shoulder blades in towards one another. Making sure we're not flaring into the chest and bending the back, so keep the spine straight. 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Single arm. Twist, lower, twist, lower. So turning the shoulders, working into obliques a little bit more now, which is your core down the side of the body. Still working on that row. 4, both sides. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Release the hands a little bit. Standing up nice and tall, shoulders back and down. You're going to reach forward and in, out to the side, in. Trying to keep the chest open so we're not hiking up the shoulders and rounding the shoulders. Forward, out to the side. 5 more. And 4. And 3. And 2. Last one, both sides. Oh, small movement, but very effective. Starting to feel warm now. So we're going to have the band under one foot and come into a lunge position. So I'll come on side on so you can see better. So same thing, you can still do this with your hands free or with your little dumbbells or with your band. If you've got the band or dumbbells, we can do bicep curls, so shoulders down, keeping your hips facing forward, up onto the ball of that back foot. If you drop your heel down, it twists your hips. So we want to try and keep them centered. So the resistance, how low your hand goes, means it's going to be more resistance, more pull. So if you want to ease the resistance, bring your hands up. If you want to increase, bring your hands down. The shoulders back and down into our bicep curls. So we go down, curl, release, and up. Down, curl, release, and up. Go 2 more. Come back down. Hold and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten that back leg. We'll bring your hands a little lower. Pull your elbows up, shoulder blades together. Squaring off those hips, we extend and bend, extend and bend, working into triceps, backs of the arms. Arms stay close to the body. Straighten those elbows completely. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release, swapping sides. Make sure your foot's on the band completely so it doesn't flick up and get you in the face. Always check it for little tears before using it as well so they don't break on you. Right, shoulders back and down, spine nice and tall, and we come down. Down, curl, release, and up. Down, curl, release, and up. You can do the lunges without the curl if you wish. Up to you how deep you come into your lunges. If you're a little unbalanced, feel free to hold onto a chair. Having the band is going to make you even more unbalanced. So pick what's right for you. We've got 4 more. And 2. And 1. Come back down and pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten that back leg, hinging forward, elbows up, shoulders back, extend, bend, extend, bend. So you want to feel your upper back is working as well as those triceps. Posture, focusing on your posture. Great. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, definitely feeling nice and warm now. So have a quick drink if you want one. Now standing at the back of your mat, we're going to do a spinal roll down. So feet hip distance apart, soften the knees. You're going to round through the spine, rolling down one vertebrae at a time. Bend your knees as much as you need to bring the hands to the floor. Walk it out into a plank. And then walk the hands back. If you've got a lot of restriction in your body, you may need to bring your feet wider. Keeping the knees bent, rolling up one vertebrae at a time, all the way up to standing. Let's do that again, rolling down. Walking out to a plank. Walking back. All the way up. Good. This time we're going to stay down. Rolling down. Walking out. And hold. Now you have the option of dropping down onto your forearms and onto your knees. You can just hold your plank if you want to, or if you're with me, we can keep moving. So we're going to try and lift one leg, point the toe. So we shift backwards, flex the foot when you come forward, and drop it down. Swap. Lift, point and shift, flex and lower. Lift, point and flex, and lower. Lift, shift, forward and lower. Lift, point, flex and lower. Good, let's do one more, both sides. Great coordination for the brain. Beautiful, drop the knees with control, lower your chest all the way down. So feet hip distance apart, point the toes. So want the legs to be really active here. Now with your hips, ground down through the pelvis. So pubic bone, hip bones, try and keep them down, anchored, squeezing into the glutes. Now if you've got lower back issues, you can keep your arms on the floor. Try not to come too high and focus more on belly, glutes, and your pelvic floor. So your pelvic floor is like feeling where you're trying to stop yourself from peeing when you activate it. Okay, so all of that's going to help keep you anchored and support your lower back. The pelvic floor and the breath also switches on your transverse abdominis, which is your corset muscle. So you want that to be working to support your back as well. So level 1, all of that anchored, so belly button up, pelvic floor up, not to 100%, but humming. Then you exhale to lift the chest, optional to lift the arms, and inhale to release. Exhale to lift, inhale to release. So it's not about the height, it's about opening up the chest and activating your upper back muscles and your supporting muscles, your stabilizers, your core, which also includes the extensors in your spine. You don't want to feel any pain in your lower back. You just want to feel activation. And the main focus is upper back, thoracic spine. Exhale. Inhale. Now you can stay with this. If you want to add on more load, you reach the arms forward, pull the shoulder blades back into the spine and drop it down. Lift, reach, forward and down, keeping everything active. Let's do 4 more. Re-engage the belly and the pelvic floor if it starts to let go. 2 more. Last one. And down. Let the legs fall side to side. Good, and just keeping the head down. Now the bottom half of the body. I'm going to lift one leg, drop it down. Lift one leg, drop it down. Alternating sides, keeping the pelvis anchored, hips stay connected. Pelvic floor humming, belly button up, legs straight. And you can come into both legs. Once again, the aim is not height. Really go for length. So we go 5 more. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Go ahead, bend those knees and twist side to side. We'll bring the hands under the chest. Push yourself back into a shell stretch, should I say, rounding the spine. And just do a little jiggle into that lower back, releasing any tension that may have arisen. And sinking the hips all the way back into a child's pose. Taking a deep breath here. And lift the chest, walk your hands in towards you. And we'll bring the legs around in front. You can sit in a cross-legged position or kneeling. You can have the legs extended out or even sit on a chair if you need to for this one. All we need is the spine to be straight. So wherever your legs are is fine. The spine nice and straight. Reaching the arms forward. On your exhale, you pull your elbow back, extend, bring it in, release. Exhale, reach, inhale, release. And we're trying to keep the hips still. So by drawing that wrapping feeling belly in and gently drawing up your pelvic floor a little bit, about 20%, that's going to help keep your hips still and switch on, or make you switch on your obliques, your side core to help with the rotation. Then your shoulders are the main aim, trying to get range of motion into that twist, rotating without leaning and letting the head follow you. You want to feel your upper back working as well, chest opening. Breath, our Pilates breath, is out through the mouth like you're blowing out a candle and in through the nose. Once more, both sides. And release. If you've got your band, we'll use the band. You can still do this without the band and still feel activation. This just adds a little bit of load. So raising the arms up a little wider than shoulders, and we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together. And just trying not to get the microphone. There we go. And squeezing the shoulder blades together and release. Squeeze and release. The more resistance you have, the hands, the closer together, the more resistance you will have. Try not to flare into the ribs and back bend to keep your belly firm. And work those upper back muscles. Good. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, shake it out. Let's do a nice twist. Other side. And side stretch. Other side. And interlace behind, opening up the chest. And interlace in front. Scoop the belly around the spine. Back the other way. And release. Alright. Now we're going to go side on. You don't have to. I'm going side on. So you can have your feet hip distance apart forward. Start in a straight spine position with your arms forward. Try not to round the shoulders. Now we're rolling onto the back of your sit bones, drawing your belly in, your lower belly, and getting a C curve shape to your spine, leaning back as far as you can. Reach the arms up without losing that shape. Bring it back and then lengthen. So exhale, scoop your belly, leaning back, reach. And then we inhale as we lengthen. Exhale. Inhale. We've got 2 more. On that last one. Let's hold here. Rotate and back. Rotate and back. Keeping that scoop, pelvic floor humming, lower belly drawn in. You have to keep re-engaging it because it will want to let go. Trying to keep the hips still, so we're getting that rotation into the torso. Last one, both sides. Good, and rolling forward. Relax for a second. Deep breath. Okay, we're going to come all the way down onto your back. Make sure your band's with you if you've got one. Roll down one vertebrae at a time. So tuck that tailbone under like a naughty dog sticking its tail up in between its legs. Pubic bone is going towards the belly button. Rolling down with control onto that lower back. And then beginning to come onto the middle back. All the way onto the upper back. And then reach the arms over. Legs out long. Pull yourself in opposite directions. Bit of a stretch. And release. Good. Feet are going to come hip distance apart. And we want our pelvis, our hips, to be in a neutral spine shape. So your hip bones and your pubic bone, when they're all aligned with one another, if you were to put a wine glass there, it would be nice and flat. Then it means you've got this natural lumbar curve underneath your back. Now the size of that will depend on the individual body. So if you think of your bony landmarks and then try and keep that shape there, Then when we do our crunches, you're forcing your corset muscle, your stability muscle to work, and it's not just your rectus abdominis, your six pack, that's going to do it all by itself. So a lot of people, when you do your crunches, we seesaw through the lower back, which isn't necessarily wrong. There's a purpose to that. You'll feel your six pack a lot more when you do it that way. But if you want that whole stability system to work, and if you want to protect your lower back from seesawing, if you've got issues there, it is really beneficial to try and keep it neutral. So give it a go and just see how it feels in your body. So with the fingers, interlace them, and then have the thumbs down either side of your neck. So you've got a really nice cushion for the head. If you're like me, I get a lot of neck pain, so I've got to be really mindful of crunches. So with the head placement, if you think of when you nod yes to someone, you're only nodding from C1, which is that little vertebrae at the very top. So when we do our head nod, it doesn't mean that we're like this, because that's curving a C shape into your neck, which is a lot more than just your C1 at the top. So keep your neck nice and long. Just do your little head nod with that top vertebrae, so then you've got a nice long neck. And then when you crunch, that neck doesn't change shape. It just comes with the shoulders. You look towards your thighs. Now holding that crunch, notice if your pubic bone has lifted and your lower back is connected. If you've done that, you've lost your neutral. So try and keep that gap. Put a little fake visual marshmallow under there to keep this nice and firm. Pulling the pelvic floor up and then release. Then you add in that breath where you exhale out through the mouth, blowing out your candle, look towards your thighs, and then inhale, release, exhale, inhale. So to begin with, if you're not used to the neutral spine version, it can feel a little bit strange, not like you can come as high. And make sure you're not pulling on the neck and crunching from the head. Now you have the option of staying with this version, or to add on more load, we imprint, which is lowering the back down to the floor to help support the weight of the legs. Knees come up in line with the spine. And exhale, inhale. Keeping the lower back connected. Keeping the neck nice and long. Exhale as you come up. Inhale as you come back down. Wherever you are, we've got 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the feet back down. If you've got your band, grab the band. Otherwise, you can do this without a band. You're going to wrap it around your right leg and then twist it over on the top. Now, elbows come down to the floor, so your arms are working to keep that resistance. Back to your neutral spine, lifting the leg up. Now, when the leg comes up, naturally the hip wants to drop to one side, so try and keep them aligned. And then we're going to draw a circle with the leg, trying to avoid rocking into the hips. So this one is all about the stability structure, so your transverse abdominis, which we can quite often miss training when we work our superficial muscles, our obliques and our six pack. We forget about this muscle, which is super important, especially after pregnancy and when you have lower back pain. Let's go back the other way with that circle. If you've got really clicky hips, just try and make your circle a little smaller. If it doesn't hurt, then it's okay. If it hurts, don't push through it. Two more. And coming back to center, I'm going to dip the toe and lift. Dip and lift. 8, Make sure there's no movement in the lower back. Feel that firmness in your lower belly, so just drawing in the pelvic floor just a little bit to help that activation. 4, 2, and 1. Good. Let's swap over to the other side. Behind the thigh, cross it over, making sure you're in your neutral. Feel that wrapping feeling. If you don't know what I mean by wrapping feeling, pull your pelvic floor up to about 100%, squeeze, and you'll feel naturally that the lower belly starts to firm. So you want to try and get that firm feeling without the 100% squeeze. So you only want your pelvic floor to be on about 20% because it can't stay on 100 for too long. So getting that firm feeling, shoulders nice and flat to the floor, trying to minimize your hips from rocking. This one still works the shoulders as well, trying to keep the band down or stationary. And then back the other way. And coming back to the center, we tap and lift, tap and lift for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Now you have 2 options for this next one. You can either keep the feet grounded. We are going to imprint though, regardless of which option you do. So that means lower back down. So option 1, legs are going to go up, up, reground down, down, swap, up, up, reground down, down. Or level 2, legs stay up and we swap, alternate sides, tap. Keeping your lower back connected, keeping your hips level. The further away the legs go, the more load there will be on the core. So level 3 is your straight leg version. Now, if you've got really clicky hips, the long leg version may not feel good. You can keep the knees bent version. Try and relax the shoulders. Keep re-engaging the core and the pelvic floor, lower back down. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Now coming into our bridges for our hamstrings and our glutes. You don't want the heels too close to your bum because then your thighs, your quads end up doing a lot of the work. So you want to bring the heels a little further away, keeping them in line with your sit bones, hip distance apart, and then trying to release the shoulders by having the arms down by your side, palms up, or you can have them up as well, whatever feels best for you. Just try not to clench and round into the shoulders. Now when we come up into a bridge, try to avoid arching through the lower back. What we want to focus on is drawing the pubic bone towards your belly button and switching on, tucking your tailbone, switching on the glutes and the hamstrings, and then coming back down. So already I felt my hamstring go, because it really spices them up. It forces them to switch on. So let's do that again. We lift up, do that little tuck. And then if you're still not feeling hamstrings, pull your heels towards your bum and your knees further away. So that will really switch them on, and then come back down. So it's a really subtle shift in the pelvis, shift in the body, knees up, heels in, without moving the feet. We get so much more than just going like this. Go to tuck, lift, and down. A little squeeze into the pelvic floor at the top. Now there's two different ways you could do this. You can try and keep it on the whole time to work on endurance, but it won't stay on too much longer than 10 seconds usually on average. And then, or there's the just power and strength. So that's when you squeeze at the top and then letting everything release and relax completely at the bottom. So both have their purposes. If you wanted to add on more resistance, you can place the band or your little dumbbells if you've got some on your hips. And then your arms have to work a little bit more as well, trying to keep the band down. Let's go 5 more. And 4, 3, 2, holding up, pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. All right, legs nice and wide. Let the knees go side to side. And then hugging them in, a little rock from side to side. And we're going to come back to our hip distance neutral spine. So hips in line with pubic bone, little arch. Interlace the fingers behind, little head nod with that top of the neck. And this time I'm going to work into our obliques, so rotational crunches. We rotate to one side and release. Rotate and release. So the key to this one is trying not to let your hips twist with you. Sorry, the microphone's just going up under my neck. So we're aiming for opposite armpit towards opposite leg. So that way you're not relying on the elbow and twisting through the actual arms. You're trying to get the shoulder structure to go across to really get the most out of that rotation. Now you have the option
to start marching the legs, your opposite armpit towards your opposite knee, alternating sides, trying to stay in your neutral if you can, so you're not seesawing through the back. Or you can keep your lower back connected to the floor in imprint if that feels more comfortable. So exhaling as you crunch, inhale as you release. Trying to keep the hips level. You also have the option of raising both knees in tabletop position and continuing with your oblique crunches, keeping your lower back connected if you're doing this version. And you also have the option to extend the legs out long, alternating side for side in your full bicycle crunches. Focus on your form and control and your breath. And then putting the legs down once you finish that one. I'm going to grab your band and place it on your right foot. You want to stay in your neutral here, so keeping your hips level and kicking your heel out and bringing it in, keeping that wrapping feeling in your belly. Bring your leg as low as you can control. Grounding down through your elbows, your arms working here against that resistance of the band as well. Now you have the option of staying with that, or we're going to add in our oblique crunch. If you're coming into this one, we'll imprint the spine, so keeping your lower back connected. Exhale as you twist towards the leg. Inhale as you kick. Now that inhale is an active inhale because you've got the long lever of the leg to support, although the band is helping you as well. Supporting your head with your hand. And then once you've finished that one, let's swap over to the other side. Grounding down through your elbow, firm in the belly. Exhale as you kick, inhale as you come back in. So up to you how low that leg is going, really driving with your heel. Making sure you're not seesawing through the lower back. Gently pulling up on the pelvic floor just a little bit, adding in those crunches if you did it on the other side. Exhale and crunch. Inhale, lengthen. Making sure you're not pulling on the neck. Almost there. And last one, stopping when you're ready. I'm going to take that band off. Rolling onto your side. Place your elbow in line with your shoulder. Stacking your hips, body in a nice long line. And raising the hips up. Extend your top leg out long. Keep your shoulders stacked, chest open. Raise the foot with a pointed toe. Flex to lower. Point to lift. Flex to lower. Point to lift. Flex to lower. If you want to do this with the hip down, that's an option too. Then we're going to crunch in and reach for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming all the way down. You want to keep your neck nice and long, so you can either have your arm long or bent underneath, but still keeping the neck long. Then push your top hip away so your rib cage lifts and your hips are level. You can have your bottom foot flexed so it gives you a good foundation. If you're balanced, you can have your hand on your hip or keep it on the floor to help with that balance. Point the toes to lift, flex to bring it down. Point to lift, flex to down. So we're getting coordination out of this too, as well as working into the ankle and our glute all the way up the side of the leg as well. Firm in the belly, keeping that rib cage slightly lifted for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and point circles. Trying to keep the body still except for that leg, firm in the belly. Small and controlled circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back the other way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the leg all the way forward. Turn your toe down and pulse up and down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. We'll go straight over to the other side. Coming up onto your forearm, elbow under the shoulder, lifting the hips if you can, otherwise keeping the hips down. Then we lift to the pointed foot, flex to lower, lift to lift. So point to lift, flex to lower. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Into crunches for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming all the way down. Nice long line with the body. Lifting the rib cage, hips stacked, bottom foot flexed. Point to lift, flex to lower. Point and flex. So imagining something's in between the legs like a spring, so you're pushing down on it to create your own resistance. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it up and flex, pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and point circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Kick the leg out in front, turn the toe down, pulsing up and down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Ooh. All right. Laying onto your back. We've got our hundreds to go. So you can use your band. I'll give you options. So you can either have our neutral spine, which is our level 1, hips aligned with pubic bone, arch under your back, shoulder blades nice and flat, arms long, and we're pulsing the arms. There's no floppy elbows, arms are nice and straight. So already with that pulse, you'll feel your core activate to try and stabilize against the pulse. So this is level 1. Level 2 is imprint the spine, lower back down, legs up into tabletop. Now from here you have the option of adding more resistance, more load with your band. Option 3, coming into a crunch with or without your band. And option 4, legs extended. The lower you go, the harder it's going to be. If you see any doming in the belly, it means you've let go of that deep core. So you want to try and keep it all wrapped in. I'm going to start in this option for my body today. So the breath is inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. You're halfway. If you're in your crunch, you can drop the head if you need to. Make sure you keep re-engaging the core. Focus on your form. 3 more. 2. Last one. And freeze. Wherever you are, freeze. Bring the leg down with control. And release. Well done. So now we get to stretch. We're going to use our band for the stretch. You can do it, obviously, if you don't have your band. You can do it with a towel a jumper, or just hold onto your leg with your hands. So relaxing your belly. Breath now can come in and out of the nose. Pulling the toes down towards your face. Deep breath here. And we'll open the leg out to the side, keeping both sit bones on the ground. Try and straighten your leg completely. Reach your arm out behind you to help stabilize. And then bring your leg through center into your twist. Keep your legs straight if you can. I'm going to have to bend my knee a little bit because the wall is there. Trying to open up through the chest, palm up in that back hand. And coming all the way through center, swap feet into your hamstring stretch. Deep breath. Opening your leg out to the side. Stretching into the inner thigh, your adductors. And then we're coming through center, swapping your hand on the band or on the leg. And twisting over to the other side, trying to keep your shoulders down. Your leg doesn't have to come as close to the ground as mine does. Just wherever you can feel the stretch all the way up the side of the leg into your glute, your butt, your lower back, opening the chest. And bring the leg back to center. Placing the band down, hug the knees in, and then we'll come into our happy baby, so flexing your feet up towards the sky. Trying to flatten through your lower back, pushing the shoulders down as much as you can, so lengthening the spine. And then we'll bring the legs down as wide as your mat. Arms in a cactus position. If your hands can't come flat onto the floor, just open your arms wide until they can. And then we will windshield wiper the legs from side to side. Now if you've got hip, lower back issues, maybe even scoliosis, don't twist too deep. Just listen to your body and what feels right for you. If you do want to go a little deeper, we're going to fall to one side. Your bottom foot comes up onto that top knee to deepen the stretch by pulling the knee down towards the floor. And then we swap over to the other side. Optional to hook that bottom foot up on top of your top knee. Back to center, soles of the feet together, knees wide. Trying to let everything melt down into the floor. Letting go of resistance. If this is really uncomfortable for the legs, feel free to adjust them into any position that feels good. I'm just going to deepen the breath here to calm the nervous system and wind down after that practice. Breathing deep into the belly, relaxing the body. breath here. And we're going to straighten the legs, reach the arms up overhead, full body stretch. And hiding the knees in as tight as you can, little rock from side to side. And roll to the side, come up slowly to any comfortable seated position. We'll meet with our hands together in prayer. And ending your practice today with gratitude for your magnificent body, never taking for granted the way you move. And bring your hands up to your forehead. And gratitude for this time you've given yourself to nourish your body and your mind, knowing that you are worth it. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for joining me today. Namaste.